Let's fucking go, bro. Hey guys, this is Wisp. So you guys probably saw in the intro, I was grinding for the last 2 weeks, or so, for the new Damascus heartbeat, and I finally got it yesterday. So I figured after, grinding for a bit, I even grinded Hue more or less when it came out, that I'd give some tips and tricks that people probably gave it before, but it's most likely even more necessary now, because this camo is going to be really hard, and it's going to cost a lot of credit too, simply because you're going to need a lot of pass weapons and special weapons. Think that the first tip that's pretty much quintessential to make it this grind really less painful is simply going for more than one challenge at once, and you're going to figure that out pretty early, because a lot of challenge progressions are going to pop out very often. Let's say you start with the AK. With ARs, you pretty much get a lot of the challenges done just by playing the game, with the exception of crouch kills. I think crouch kills are you kind of have to force yourself into doing them, because there's almost no point, unless you're trying to get cover, to getting crouch kills. The game's really fast paced. There's just way more chances of you not dying if you're outplaying the enemies with maneuver. Let's say you get a headshot while crouched and it's a hipfire. You're pretty much doing 4 challenges at once. So the next tip that I have is start with the easier guns. So this challenge is going to take a really long time. To put it in perspective, it took me 4 months to get from 25 to 100 back when Hue dropped. And I went through like 5 updates. At the time I don't remember, but I remember the XK update dropped like a week after I got it. And to get to Hue today, it's much easier, but getting those last bits of heartbeat are going to really going to be painful. So you're going to start with the easy stuff, simply because they're going to be added more easy stuff as you progress, because it's going to take such a long time, So for the next tip that I have is simply combo the loadouts. What do I mean by this? So let's say you're done with the easier guns first, such as ARs and SMGs, and you want to start with the knives, for example, and maybe the melee secondaries too. They are really slow. Like, there's only the katana, I think, has 105 mobility, with the equivalent to a small melee weapon. And in order to counter that, you're going to do a mobility setup with an SMG. So the earliest SMG you can get, which I assume you're going to grind first before the melees, is the SMG-45. And the SMG-45, which you can get a build something like this, and you can get the max mobility. Depending on the situation, you're going to shoot people first with like 4 bullets and then switch to your melee. It's just simply like simpler to do that than melee than twice, because a lot of melee weapons have really slow swing speed, and a lot of them take 2 hits to kill. So for example, the Polex back when Hue dropped was the last weapon that I grinded, and it was really bad back then. I used to shoot people a little bit, and then melee they once with this. It's perfectly 75. Another tip that I have is, if you're willing to do it, of course, is getting equipping your nades and getting nades and lethal equipment kills while you're at it. Recently I finished Molotov. It was really bad. I don't want to do it anymore, and I think the easiest ones you can use are easily throwing knives, because you get 3 of them, you get 3 chances of getting a kill, and you pretty much only need 500 kills. I think the frags are really strong for level 0 equipment, and Molotovs, as I speak right now, they are really broken. They are pretty much 100 plus damage the moment it hits somebody. They do something like 60 damage and like 20 per tick. It's really powerful, but it's still time gated and it's equipment, and you only get one of them. But it's pretty much a guaranteed kill if you hit somebody with it. Okay, next tip is avoid terrible maps when necessary. And this falls under the category of avoiding really bad lobbies too. If you have a lot of people spamming like shotguns, you know, greatsword, Molotov, grenades, all that shit, it's going to slow you down, and you don't want that. You have 125 Damascus goals to grind, so you don't want to get slowed down. So what do I mean by this is simply avoiding maps like Homestead, Arena, I think Storage and Convoy are really bad too, but there are way more places to like outplay inside than Homestead and Arena. That is specific for stuff that you need to grind up close, such as shotguns and melees, and you don't want to get slowed down, trust me. Up next isn't really a tip, but I just wanted to talk about this tier list I made real quick. Being the top red being the easiest guns to grind DG, and the bottom being the hardest, and I'm going to explain why. So AK means AR, so ARs, SMGs and shotguns are really easy. Like I said, you can get multiple challenges done really quickly. Shotguns have less challenges. LMGs are the same as ARs, but they're slower and their hipfire sucks. On a few occasions the hipfire is decent, but I won't bet too much on it. Your best friend is green laser, as always. Knives are really easy to grind because knifing in this game is pretty much like 2 tap somebody or 1 tap somebody if you're using comboing the loadout. Pistols are depends on the category. So auto pistols are much easier, obviously, but pistols aren't anything to scoff at either. You get really good damage, you get really high headshot damage on average on pistols, and hand cannons are really harder simply because a lot of them are like you need a really good accuracy to use them, especially the revolver and the Navi revolver, and really especially the Mark IV revolver. That thing is not really good. The snipers are above rifles simply because most of them have infinite range. So one of the main difficult challenges that has been introduced a while ago was long shot challenges. So in order to get a successful long shot, you need 45 meters. And 45 meters is not a thing that happens very often in the game unless you're playing Arena. And while you're playing Arena, you'll need long shots with snipers and rifles. And snipers are much easier, like I said, because of the infinite range. But rifles, they don't have infinite range. And you're going to get a lot of drop off. And getting a kill that counts as a long range as well is going to be really hard. To put into perspective, the rifle that I needed to grind to get Heartbeat was the Bar, which is the most recent gun that is a rifle, and I almost got to 1500 kills before I finished the long shots. That is how hard it is to get them, because 45 meters, it sucks. And I wish they reduced that to around 40, because I had a lot of instances where I hit 42, 43, 44 meters and it didn't count. So specials, they have individual challenges themselves. There are shotguns such as the Asgard launcher, there are SMGs such as the ray gun and the hollow blaster, and then there's hell, which is the crossbow, because the crossbow you need long shots and headshots. And I didn't grind it either, so I'd rather grind the Molotov. And equipment is really boring because you need to wait for them to recharge, and you could also reset your character, but that's really boring. Again, I mentioned that in the combo loadout. Yeah, that's why you want to combo it. You have a lot of opportunities to get challenges done a bit easier and a bit faster. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments if I missed something that is deemed important. My brain's kind of fried after grinding those grenades and bar kills. So yeah, thank you guys for watching.